here until 7 o'clock. We're just a couple of days away from the big game, and live from San Francisco is Alex Barth. Alex, it's day 4 for you, my man. How you feeling today?
I'm feeling good. We're done with availability. Today was the last availability. I got to tell you, Joe, as good as it's been getting to be around the team, and I got some awesome stuff today. Talked to Milton Williams again. I'll have something up tomorrow on his perspective heading to his 3rd Super Bowl in 4 years. A little bit of a Patriots-like run for him as an individual. Talked to some other guys on the team. Steph Diggs talked today. I thought there was some good stuff from Christian Gonzalez as well. But the media availability is done. I got to kind of sit down and write for a few hours, which I feel like I've barely done, which is crazy because it's my job. So, and Matt Dolph had an awesome piece too up on 98.5thesportshub.com. We're really cranking up the preview stuff over there. And now, it's so hectic with the immediacy of all of it, when there's availability and all these events that you lose track of, there's a game in 3 days, and these last couple days here we get to really narrow in and talk about the game itself, which obviously is what we're all here for.
Oh, yeah, I want to do some Alex's and Joe's at some point.
Yes.
Because there are some storylines there regarding both sides and how they'll attack. But one question I have for you, and then one I saw today. It looks like Drake May said he's feeling great. So I was glad to hear him actually say he feels great. Instead of I'm fine, I'm good. He said great. So I like that one. But what is the latest on Nick Emenwari, who, of course, was seen limping, got hurt yesterday? It was mentioned in the practice pool report. Good player, a safety.
Yeah.
Can play really nickel if they need him as well. But I know it's an ankle. It could be a high ankle sprain. Those things can linger. But sounds like he's going to. I expect him to play. What did you hear today?
So let's go back to yesterday because, and like you said, Nick Emenwari, rookie, 35th overall pick in the draft, fantastic player, one of these rare size athleticism combo players, 6'3", 220 pounds, ran a sub 4.40 with a 43-inch vertical at the combine. The dude is an absolute freak, and he's also very talented. He's not one of these guys that's all athleticism. He has a lot of football ability as well. And to your point, Joe, his ability at that size and at that speed to play near the line of scrimmage, the Seahawks run nickel more than any team in the league, with him as the 5th defensive back, and yet they stop the run better than any team in the league. And usually those things don't go together. You're taking a linebacker, defensive lineman off the field for a player in the secondary, and you're getting better against the run. That's because Nick Emenwari is really positionless. And if they don't have him, do they go back more to base? Is it Devin Witherspoon now moving into the slot, and he's a guy you can attack more in the run game? So, massive player for them. He gets hurt last night, and I apologize. I don't have the name of the pool reporter author immediately in front of me, but she wrote, and for those who don't know, this isn't like the regular season where a bunch of reporters go for 5 minutes of practice. One reporter goes, watches the whole practice, and then informs everybody of what they saw. Kaylin Kaler from ESPN is the pool reporter for the Seahawks. Lindsey Jones is doing so for the Patriots. And she wrote that he injured his ankle late in practice. He walked off the field, but not before several players and coaches went over to comfort him. So to me, that's if he needs to be comforted by teammates, that's not a great sign. And we've seen guys walk off with some nasty injuries. My mind goes to Achilles, high ankle sprain, something like that. There's that video of him limping into the hotel last night, which didn't look good. But then today, Mike McDonald, the head coach, says it's a low ankle sprain. He's confident he's going to play. Emenwari's confident he's going to play. Some more video of him walking around. I wrote about this on 98.5thesportshub.com. That's up now. Looks like he's doing better. It does look more like a low ankle sprain than maybe a high ankle sprain. So he's going to play. 4 days is not an insignificant amount of time. Is he going to be 100%? To me, you test him early for the Patriots, and that he might blow you up. He might come right out and stuff a couple runs, and okay, he's good to go, and you move on. But he's a crucial part of what the Seahawks do schematically and what makes their defense so unique and so tough. So if he's not 100%, whatever that is, that's absolutely an area the Patriots can take advantage. We'll see we'll get the pool report here probably within the next couple of hours. I believe the Seahawks just got on the practice field within the last hour. We'll get the pool report, we'll get the injury report, and we'll see where he's at. That is a major situation monitor. At this point, this story is now overtaken Drake May's shoulder as the big injury concern for this game. He is a key player that in a key spot, if he can't move right, that's going to be something the Patriots can absolutely exploit.
Yeah, and I just look at their defense all around. I know Devin Witherspoon's a good player. He's a big corner, first-round pick, can really do some things. He's a different kind of defensive back than what we've seen, right? Surtain and some of these other guys. But he's good. But on the other side, Rick Woolen can be taken advantage of as well. And then you start looking around and say, hey, what else do they have in that secondary?
So the big one, if Eamon Worry's going to be out, when they go into that nickel, and some of it just might be them playing nickel less. That could be part of it, too. And they'll leave Witherspoon on the outside, who's a good player. But when they have moved Witherspoon inside this year, it's Josh Jobe who's out there out of Alabama. Now, Josh Jobe does some things very well. He's a big physical corner. He can jam receivers at the line. He can beat them at the catch point. Like, he wins with physicality. But he's not going to run with a guy. He's not fast. He's not quick. He's the kind of guy they'd put up maybe against like a Mac Hollins as like a matchup thing, just that bully ball corner. But if you have to play him more than just a matchup guy, and now he's out there against Kayshon Boutte, or he's out there against Kyle Williams, or you can find a matchup in the slot with Pop Douglas, that's a guy you can hunt. That's a guy you can pick on. So if 3 comes off, and I don't have Josh Jobe's number off the top of my head right now, but if Nick Eamon comes off, Jobe, look for them to circle 29. Jobe and attack Jobe, and that becomes the guy that now suddenly you find a little weakness in the Seahawks defense.
Yeah, if you don't see 3 on the field, that's Eamon Worry. You'll see Jobe, who's 29, and Woolen is 27.
Yeah.
As well. Listen, I think that I still think the game's going to come down to the trenches. Me personally, and we can do that. I know it's not exciting for the radio, but Eamon Worry's been a big part of what that defense is and what the nickname of that defense is, and he can just do a lot of things there. But, Alex, what's funny is...
Well, Joe, sorry, just to add to that.
Yeah.
And this might be... You set it up perfectly. This might be the best way to illustrate how important Nick Eamon Worry is. He's a safety. He's a trenches player for them. Like, he's a part of the way they play in the trenches. And that's crazy to say about a safety, especially in today's day and age. We remember guys like Rodney Harrison doing that way back, who should be a Hall of Famer, by the way. I'll just throw that in because we got the announcement tonight. But he's a safety, and he's a key factor in the trenches. That is how good, how dynamic, how versatile this guy is.
Just mention something about injuries, and we've covered the team for a lot of years now, so it's funny when people ask us questions about the Super Bowl. How do we not look back at some similarities to the past, right? Well,
right.
Cam Chancellor, we'll look with him a couple of days before. It hurt him late in the second half. And that's where I think Eamon Worry's going to be out there.
That was a knee, right?
Exactly. It was. Yeah. I know it's different.
No, I'm just trying to remember.
But high ankles linger, right? These things are...
So they did say it's low ankle, but still.
Low ankle, okay. Well, still, I'm sure he'll feel the adrenaline early on. I think the second half and the adjustments that the Patriots have done all season, that's why a lot of these people who talk about, I like this team, because some people do have a dog in the fight, which we'll get to later. We'll get to that later.
I haven't thought on that.
Yes,
I want to get to
hold
that.
it.
I have a take I haven't heard.
This is
Go
good.
ahead, sorry.
This is good. No. I want you to hold it because it's great. This back and forth, I love it. I love it from everybody.
Yes.
But when it comes to the game, injuries have mattered in every Super Bowl we've ever covered. Every one of them. Whether it's Tom Brady in a boot, Rob Gronkowski in his ankle, whether it's Chancellor, anybody.
Tom Brady cutting his hand open.
Boom. It's meant something. It's mattered. Even the Drake May shoulder, I think, could matter. I'm just mentioning that on the other end of it is the Drake May stuff sounds like it's getting better. The Eamon Worry thing, this is now current, and I think it's something we should monitor. But as covering the team for years, I just wanted to mention that it impacted Chancellor. And this brings up what we talked about, I think, last night when Brady talked about the red zone. And, on a Friday night, he was with his family and went out to eat and sat with Josh McDaniels and wanted to just be a little bit more prepared in the red zone. They came up with 4 plays. One of the plays they scored on was Gronk one-on-one on Chancellor. So I just wouldn't be surprised if they're working on that now to be more prepared if there's a one-on-one Henry or a Douglas or even Steph Diggs for that matter.
Yeah, no, again, they've been really... Josh McDaniels has always been good at this. I shouldn't just say they've been good this year. And frankly, some teams haven't been good about it against the Patriots. When a corner goes out, you hunt the guy that comes in the game. That is smart situational football 101. And what was the game a couple weeks ago when Carlton Davis went out? And look, nothing against Charles Woods, but this is a guy that is not the same caliber of player, is coming in cold off the sideline. I think it was the Chargers game, and it took them like 4 or 5 plays to throw at him, so you let him get his legs under him, you let him kind of get a feel for the game. You got to hunt that guy right away, and McDaniels is vicious when it comes to that. Always has been, and Brady too, I'm sure. That's the kind of thing Brady's going to zero in on. It's not Brady, it's Drake May, I get that, but yeah, if suddenly Josh Job's out there in a matchup that you don't expect Josh Job to be in, or Eamon Worry seems like he's struggling, and now you catch them in man where he's out wide on a tight end or a bigger receiver like Mac Hollins, yeah, I would expect them to hunt that. They should be hunting those matchups.
All right, Alex Barth live from San Francisco. We'll have more on the Patriots and the matchup. A little Alex's and Joe's there.
That's right.
I like that one. Bob Sosi had a chance to sit down with Austin Hooper. We'll hear from him. We'll bring in Hardy as well. He'll give us his FanDuel bets. And dogs in the fight. Can't wait to get into that one. We're here until 7 o'clock. It's the big game preview presented by FanDuel. We'll take a quick break. I'm Joe Murray, Alex Barth in San Fran. It's 98.5 The Sports Hub. All right, welcome back to the Big Game Preview presented by FanDuel. We'll talk to Hardy coming up in just a little bit. He'll give us some of his prop bets. He's been doing it all week long. And joining us from San Francisco is Alex Barth of 98.5 thesportsup.com. You can check out all his articles. Matt Doloff had an article up there last night. I know Ty's writing for the Bruins as well. So check out all their work. And, of course, on our socials, Jake doing an excellent job back there. He's got us on split screen right now, Alex. It's looking great on our YouTube. Just go to youtube.com and search 98.5 The Sports Hub. Bob Sosi standing by with Austin Hooper. But I wanted to ask you for a little Alex's and Joe's here.
Yep.
How about this little tight end matchup? AJ Barner, right? Is it Saubert? Who's the other tight end for them? I know they drafted a kid, Collar up. But when you look at
Arroyo.
Exactly, Arroyo's another kid. Second round pick, right?
Yeah.
But you look at the two sides. I know they're a little deeper probably. But the Patriots tight end group, as far as pass catchers, I think are better. But why don't you break it down for us, the tight end matchups here?
Yeah, I mean, so the overall numbers, Seattle has allowed the most yardage, or among the most yardage to tight ends of any team in the league. That number is a little misleading, though. People look at that and say they're bad against tight ends. I mean, they're not great against tight ends, but some of that is their coverage is so good and their pass rush gets home so fast. They force a lot of checkdowns, which can be to tight ends. They've also allowed the most receptions to running backs, which is, along those lines. And then on top of that, those numbers are padded because they played Trey McBride twice, who might be the best tight end in the league. But a savvy veteran like Austin Hooper could get some chances, especially if, again, their defense is a little configured a little differently because of the Nick Eamon-Worry injury. Austin Hooper's a guy to watch, too. How are they going to handle those two tight end sets? As for the Seahawks, Barner's a good player. He can get you. I mean, he's not top 5, top 10 tight end in the league. But he's a capable player, and if you take him lightly and you give him opportunities, he'll make the most of that. The other two guys they have that interest me are Elijah Arroyo, and I'll pull in wide receiver Jake Bobo here, too. I remember being at the Shrine Bowl when Jake Bobo was there in 2023, and somebody compared him to me to Little Jordan Humphrey, who was on the Patriots at the time, and that kind of wide receiver tight end hybrid. And then Elijah Arroyo is kind of the same thing. So look for the Seahawks if the Patriots pass rush starts getting home and they want to get heavier but not lose the ability to hit play action, maybe putting some of those hybrid wide receiver tight end players on the field to try to stress the Patriots by giving them a little more unpredictability. Yeah,
I don't think they're a great group, but they are a little bit dynamic. They do have some talent. They interchange. Just looking at the Patriots side of it, we know what Hunter Henry and Austin Hooper can do in the passing game, but Westover is more of the fullback, but now they're using Mumford, right? They're using that. So should we, if we were doing the tight ends battle, if we had to pick a dog in the fight, I still think the Patriots can block better, catch the ball better, and they can also go unbalanced with the extra tight end and tackle.
Yeah, no, the Patriots have the tight end advantage in this game. I would give that to you. I think Hunter Henry is the best tight end in the game. Hooper might be the second best. Him and Barner, he's kind of underrated, but then, you have a couple rookies. The Patriots have, and you want to throw Mumford in there and just that ability. Although the Seahawks have allowed, they're among the lowest in the league in yards per carry against 6 and 7 offensive linemen set. So they are very good against those formations, but the Patriots are also good in those formations. So that kind of becomes a strength on strength.
Just so, because I heard you say it, I didn't want to let it pass. You said that the Seahawks give up the most yards to tight ends?
It's among them. I got to pull up the exact number. Yes, but that number is skewed. So they've given up. I'll have it here in a second. It's in my game preview. I don't know. I haven't gotten this number to stick in my head this week.
Well, hold that thought. Why don't you do that? We'll look that up.
Hang on. I got it right here.
I'm kind of curious now because Drake May loves to throw to the tight ends.
So 5th most catches, 6th most yards. They've allowed 1,080 yards, but there's two big caveats there. A lot of those are checkdowns because their coverage is so good and the pass rush gets home so quick, the quarterback just has to throw the ball in the flat, and that's usually the tight end or the running back. They've allowed the most catches to running backs this year, but it's only for like 6 yards a catch because they come up and they swarm and they tackle. The other reason that's skewed is Trey McBride, who's in their division, the Cardinals tight end, had 2 big games against them. But he has big games against everybody because he's the best tight end in the league. And, I like Hunter Henry. He's not Trey McBride. Nobody is right now.
All right, well, Bob Sosie's had great interviews all week long. Yesterday he had Kyrie's Tonga, big part of the defensive line. And, well, talking tight ends, let's hear from Austin Hooper with Bob Sosie.
You came into the league, and immediately you have success as a team, and you're in the Super Bowl. Twists and turns in your career. Coming back to the Super Bowl, given what you've experienced, what does this one mean to you in that context?
Yeah, it feels great. Played on a few different teams. Been some time since I've been back to the postseason, so I think it makes it that much sweeter. Like the work, going to different cities, being part of different teams, and luckily able to be part of this one and getting the opportunity to come back here again. And seeing the identity we've created as a team and what we put the work in for every day. So I'm very proud of this team. Can't say enough good things.
When you describe the opportunity to come back here or think about it, how close were you to not coming back here? And you're among a number of guys who decided to stick with the Patriots and have had that decision validated by the season you've experienced.
Yeah, certainly. When they offered me, I wanted to be here, so it made it easy. Got the opportunity to stay, and did I know this was going to be it? I'd be lying if I said I thought we were going to be a talented football team. I don't think many people quite exactly expected this. Just once we got together, we just kept working towards our goal. It wasn't even postseason. It was just, hey, how can we go 1-0 this week? And we all collectively put our heads down and went to work, and then once you pick it up, it's like, all right, it's February now, so that's what you do it all for.
And the closeness and identity of this team, how would you describe how cohesive this team is and how individually you kind of represent that collective identity?
Yeah, the team's pretty tight. We've got a lot of good relationships. Everybody's cool with everybody across the roster. And no one's afraid to, push each other. You have the standard. It is what it is. And if someone's not doing it, you can't get emotional. Someone holds you to that. And I think that's understood by all the men in the building. So it allows... how do I want to say it? Not necessarily police, but uphold the standard for each other. It's not negative. It's just hey, this is the way we're doing things, and the guys who understand it all have rose to the occasion every single week. So I think that's a big piece of it. Obviously talented quarterback, bunch of talented offensive line, talented, this position, that position, but the cool part is just the standard that we forged and the way how everyone keeps each other accountable to that.
What do you tell these guys who haven't been through a Super Bowl experience what it's like, the time leading up to the opening kickoff, the long halftime? I know in the past some players have described it really as two different games within the same one.
Yeah, it is a little different format. Halftime's almost 40 minutes. After every drive, you got a 2-minute TV timeout. So yeah, the pace of the game is very unique. But I think Vrabel's done a great job throughout the week emphasizing that. But yeah, if anyone has any questions, I'm just a resource here for them. But Braves does an awesome job of articulating all those things. So just let him lead the team and just focus on what I got to focus on.
When Drake steps into the huddle, what do you expect from him in this game? And how have you seen him develop to this moment?
Yeah, every time Drake's in the huddle, it's positive attitude, locked in, ready to compete. And I don't see him changing anything now.
How about Josh McDaniels? How is he a different play caller, if at all? Or what are the things that remain consistent in terms of his scheming, but more than that, his play calling during the game, in your experience playing for Josh a couple of different times?
I think you got to adapt to your personnel, right? I think what Drake can do really well is Drake can handle a lot of information. He can process information at a high level. And I think Josh does an awesome job of teaching not just Drake, but the entire offense exactly what the goal is here when we call, insert play, or when we call that versus this coverage. Here's the why. So it's been a lot of fun working for him.
How about for you to play this game back home in the Bay Area and to practice at Stanford? What's that experience been like?
Yeah, I mean, if you told me that's how the cards were going to fall, I thought I would have said you're a liar. But I mean, I couldn't have dreamt this up. From here, went to school at Stanford, get practice there. Man. Yeah, I did not have this on my bingo card at all, so I'm very happy.
How about your Cal teammates, the two safeties? How are they dealing with playing with all that Cardinal around them on the farm and practices?
Yeah, I mean, they get to see a nice place. Like, I don't think they're upset about it. I mean, they got to see, they get to see the crown jewel of the Bay. I mean, they'll chirp me a little bit, but at the same time, I see them looking around. They're like, this is nice.
Austin, thanks a lot.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, great job by Bob Socci.
Sports Hub headlines presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
Great job by Bob Socci and Austin Hooper. And, of course, a lot going on in the sports world today. The NBA trade deadline is come and gone. Celtics have traded Chris Boucher to Utah, Josh Minot to Brooklyn, and Xavier Tillman to the Charlotte Hornets. Those moves, they get the Celtics below the luxury tax. The Pacers have acquired Ivica Zubac from the Clippers today in exchange for Benedict Mathurin and Isaiah Jackson. Also picks involved in that one. Super Bowl 60, Drake May says he's feeling great, while Nick Imanwori looks like he is good to go. It's a lower ankle sprain, but Mike McDonald said he fully expects the rookie to play. And in baseball news, Detroit Tigers star lefty Tariq Skubal will be paid $32 million in arbitration. Headlines, they are brought to you by IBEW Local 103 and Nika Electrical Contractors. IBEW 103, celebrating 125 years of power in Greater Boston. To find a qualified contractor for your next electrical, telecom, or security project today, visit thepowerprofessionals.org. I'm Joe Murray. Your next update is in 30 minutes.
Don't go anywhere. There's more Joe Murray. On the
All right, back here on 98.5 The Sports Hub. It's the big game preview. Of course, brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, official sportsbook of the NFL. Of course, a partner there. We got Alex Barth in San Francisco. We were just doing some X's and O's. We call it Alex's and Joe's as we welcome in Hardy from the morning show. Hardy, how you doing tonight? What do you got for us for some prop bets?
I like that. Alex's and Joe's.
You
Okay.
got to enunciate the X. That's the key.
Alex.
Okay. Alex's and Joe's. Yeah, you kind of leave that J out. All right. First things first. We're going to get to all the fun stuff tomorrow. You know, the Gatorade, the anthem, all that stuff. Mm-hmm. But in terms of props tonight, I said I was going to look at some long shots, admitted long shots. So try not to, erupt in laughter. We're just going to throw a few of these things out here, okay? Now, Joe, you already know my affinity for the overtime bet. Will there be an overtime? You and I have a history with me making that bet, specifically with you. There is a double overtime prop.
Whoa!
Now, I don't think I'm going to touch this one just because for there to be an overtime, yes is plus 1120 on FanDuel. And, I mean, that's pretty good. I mean, I've seen it as high as 1,200 in years past, but some years it's only 600 or 800. So plus 1120 for there to be an overtime, that's fine. But double overtime, plus 10,000.
Well, it's worth $1.
To win $1,000, yeah, or what would it be? 100? No, whatever. It's almost certainly not going to happen. But if you're looking just for a few things to throw something at, it's the first time I've seen it. Game to go to double overtime plus 10,000.
Imagine the game goes to overtime and then just your reaction watching that overtime if you bet that.
Well, yeah, because I've already bet the overtime, so, I'm already, in the clear, and now I'm just waiting for double overtime. I mean, it'd be fantastic.
You have to bet that with the single overtime one, right, to kind of help you carry it?
Yeah, no parlay, just two single bets. Now, if you want to start getting crazy, let's talk about some touchdown scores. This one, I would say the least crazy among them, Marcus Jones to score a touchdown, plus 2,200. The one that it took me a while to find, and if you go on FanDuel, you got to go to game specials. You got to scroll to the bottom.
Oh, I think I know who this is.
You got to go to game specials featured, and you got to keep scrolling, but you'll find it. Who do you think it is, Alex?
Is this big Kyrus Tonga at fullback?
How did you know? Do you am I that obvious?
I remember. So when they first started playing him at fullback, there was this huge fan push to get Kyrus Tonga anytime touchdown odds.
Yeah.
And it took like 3 weeks, and I remember it was buried in there, so I figured maybe they brought it back.
Well, this week he said that he still dreams about potentially getting the ball on the goal line.
Well, sure, and he's done it once. It was 7 years ago when he was at BYU.
I mean, Fridge Perry did it in the Super Bowl. Why not him?
Right.
Mike Vrabel did it.
Just because he hasn't done it since he played Idaho State in 2019 doesn't mean he's forgotten how to do it.
If anything, he's due.
Kyrus Tonga to score a touchdown. I'm not crazy about the odds, Joe, but it's still it's worth a little bit. Plus 7,500. Seem a little light to you?
I didn't. Well, it seems light, meaning it's possible. And just to add to that one, I think I saw offensive linemen to score a touchdown.
So that was my and I should have led with
Didn't
that.
want to step on your toes, though.
No. And you're absolutely right. I should have led with that. Any lineman to score an offensive touchdown is plus 2,500.
So that's a little light too, but I actually think there's value on that.
Oh, there's value in the Tonga prop.
Both. Yep.
Don't sleep on the Tonga prop. No, plus 7,500.
I mean,
Josh
Tonga could at least touch the ball.
Stuff.
Well, look, and Alex, I'm sorry to talk over you, but Alex, you mentioned that Josh McDaniels loves to do stuff like that.
Yeah. And this would be the game to do it. Like they have weird things, and maybe the direct snap to the running back play, that's kind of his go-to in the Super Bowl. Maybe that's out because they botched it last week. So who knows?
Mm-hmm. Anything else, Hardy?
No, I mean, some of these I would just say, don't even bother. they're so ridiculous for no touchdown to be scored in the game. You know, this is not mid-season, two crap teams playing overseas, even at plus 17,500. Ridiculous. If you want to get ridiculous, I would say Tonga. I would say double overtime just for fun. And maybe the least crazy out of all of them, Cooper Kupp, to throw a touchdown, not just a touchdown, but the first passing touchdown, plus 2,700. Again, the number isn't there for me, but I think it's worth a look if you're a Cooper Kupp fan.
I like it. All right, Hardy. Tomorrow night's the big one. We got a big one tomorrow. We'll do all the best ones.
Yeah, the best. I would say the most fun. How's that?
Most fun. He's Hardy. He's brought to you by FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game with FanDuel, official sports partner of the NFL. Hardy, we'll talk to you tomorrow, man. Appreciate you.
Thanks, guys.
You got it. Hardy's
Thanks,
been
Hardy.
bringing the heat. The Tonga one, though. You know what? Before we go to break, let's say the Patriots. I was actually wanted to ask you this question. I was dreaming of it in my brain.
Okay.
If the Patriots get the ball and receive, and they're out there on the first play of the game, what formation will they be in?
Ooh, that's a good question. So I wonder if they go with some sort of man indicator where it's Westover. They did this a lot against the Texans, and you put Westover out wide, and you see who follows him out there, and you just make it a simple read for Drake May. You know, okay, it's man, okay, it's zone. And you go from that. Now that could be more of a first, third down thing than a first play thing. But I think, especially with Eamon Warrior, like we talked about before, I think they're going to do some man zone indicators in this game kind of regularly early. Let me ask you one back, Joe, because I've been talking about this when I'm on shows here. Last time these two teams played in the Super Bowl, right? You had all this Hall of Fame talent on the field playing at an incredibly high level, but two of the biggest names in that game were two players nobody had heard of. It was Chris Matthews, who had an unbelievable game for the Seahawks, only to never be heard from again. And then obviously Malcolm Butler has the one big play at the end. If there is a Chris Matthews or a Malcolm Butler in this game, a player that sends even the less than casual fan running to Google, who do you think it is? Because I got a couple names I like, but I'm curious if one stands out to you.
Let's think on it. We'll take a quick break, and then. Okay. What's the dog in the fight? Who's got a dog in the fight? And what's Brady's? We'll get into all that. We got some time to stretch it out, baby. It's the big game preview. Alex Barth is in San Francisco. I'm Joe Murray. You're listening tonight. Big game preview presented by FanDuel. FanDuel Sportsbook. Play your game at FanDuel, official sportsbook partner of the NFL. Alex Barth is in San Francisco. Alex, you asked the question, which two players could be the underdogs, the performers who could overperform that are underdogs. Kyle Williams would be mine for the Patriots. Do you have one for the Patriots?
Yeah, I got one on each side of the ball. On offense, I'm going to go with Jack Westover.
Washington
Seattle
guy, right?
native,
Yeah.
kind of an interesting story there. We were talking about, do they run a fullback dive at the goal line, something like that? And again, the impetus of this question is last time these teams played in the Super Bowl, Chris Matthews, Malcolm Butler came out of absolutely nowhere. To one guy had a monster game overall in volume, and one guy had the play of the game. So Jack Westover is more of a play of the game candidate. In terms of that maybe monster game, somebody that I think even the beyond casual fan maybe isn't totally familiar with, like the hardcore is, but Corey Durden, who's one of their depth defensive tackles, a guy they picked up from the Giants during final roster cuts. He's played more and more as the year goes on. High motor, violent player, super fun to watch. They're going to need interior penetration if they're going to win this game. And obviously Milton Williams and Christian Barmore, we expect to do a lot of that. But, Corey Durden get in the backfield 3 or 4 times and make a name for himself in this game. I could certainly see that, and I think that would leave it. He should get the attention. He's a good player, but I don't know how much national recognition he really has among casual fans.
For Seattle, I don't know much about him.
Yeah,
but I think he's going to play. It's George Alani, the backup running back for Seattle. Kenneth Walker's the guy. Charbonnet, we know, is out. They don't have another running back, dude. Like, if you ask me, I don't know. They're going to put Jalen Milroe back there, so I'm just saying. George Alani's going to have to play. I know. George Alani's going to have to play if Walker goes down.
I'm going to go Jake Bobo. Local guy, again, you have that angle of it. And there's always a random receiver that kills the Patriots in the Super Bowl. Like, it's never the top guy. It's, again, Chris Matthews. It's David Tyree. It's those guys. Ricky Prohl a couple times, even though they won those games. So, Bobo's a big physical guy. He's a little bit of a tough matchup. Is he going to catch 10 passes? No. Could he catch a big touchdown late in the game? I could see it. So I'm going to go with Jake Bobo for the Seahawks.
All right. What are your thoughts on the dog in the fight? And I'll just set it up. Tom Brady said he didn't have a dog in the fight when it came to Seattle and the Patriots. Vince Wilfork was upset. Teddy Bruschi's upset. Asante Samuel is on Twitter calling him out. Literally says, he's got time to – he's on the clock. A lot of people, even today, Spillane said it makes him sick. What do you got on this, Alex?
They should be. It's a brotherhood, and it hurts. I get that he's a part owner of the Raiders, and I want to get back to that in a second. And he's a national broadcaster. Look, David Ortiz on the same network goes harder for the Red Sox than maybe any broadcaster out there. It's disappointing. Part of what's been so cool about this year, among many things, you've seen the alumni really come back. And that wasn't there the last couple of years. I understand why the team wasn't as good. You've seen all these guys. Garrett Blunt was really identifying as a former Eagle, and he's now back in the fold. Asante Samuel's come back. We know he had some issues with Bill, so maybe that's why. But all these guys coming back, and Brady being the cap on it would be perfect. And fans have a right to be disappointed. Alumni, certainly. I understand being disappointed. The current team. Now, I did have this. Put your tinfoil hat on, Joe. Does Brady's buddy Mike Vrabel tell him to say that so he has some bulletin board material or something like that? I'm sure Vrabel I'm kidding, but I'm sure Vrabel showed it to the team. And that's maybe the most surprising thing is, I know he's buddies with Kraft, but he doesn't have a ton of connections here anymore, but Vrabel's certainly one of them. I'm just going to throw this out there too. And I haven't seen many people bring this up, maybe because they just can't get past him spurring the Patriots. I don't blame anybody for that, but if we can go past that for a second, the reporting is right now that the Raiders, who again he's the part owner for, are going to hire for their head coach Clint Kubiak, who's the offense coordinator for the Seahawks.
Oh,
so that is maybe the connection to the Patriots is emotional. He has no financial stake, professional stake in that. In that sense, yeah, he doesn't have a dog in the fight there. He has no professional or, as far as I know, emotional tie to the Patriots. Clint Kubiak doing well? kind of ties directly to him. So in that sense, he definitely has at least one dog in the fight, and it's on the other side. If he had said he has two dogs in the
say it. Say it. I'm gonna. Hey, we want Clint Kubiak. Say it then. Pick the Seahawks.
Let me ask you this,
Joe.
If he had said he has two dogs in the fight, that's somehow not as bad.
It's not.
And I think that would have driven people wild in a different way. But on top of all the Patriot stuff, which is people are aggravated, and I have no problem with. If you're Clint Kubiak, like what the hell, man? Right? I'm right here. You're about to hire me to run your football team. So on both sides, I think he's kind of ducking out here. Absolutely.
So,
but he should have said he's rooting for them.
You're making too much sense, which was really good points. I guess you are like, hey, that makes sense, right? He doesn't want that makes sense.
Well, like I know Patriots fans don't want to hear, oh, he actually does have a dog in the fight, and it's the Seahawks. Like that's going in the complete other direction.
Yeah.
But like I don't. How do you feel if you're Clint Kubiak and you hear that?
You're right. My take on it is, Alex, we all have that friend that might dress a little different or act a little different or does different things than us, and we just look at it and like he's our friend and we just tolerate it, right? We did that with Tom Brady, whether it was, his hairstyle, his avocado ice cream, his, pliability, whatever it was, we went along with it for a really, really long time. But it was different. It was weird. Now, though, like, you already left the Patriots and went elsewhere. You've already proven that. You got your statue. But you don't show any real emotion to the fans or really the organization anymore. So I know he said he'd be a Patriot for life. This is soft, bro. Like, I don't know, man. Like, I've heard the word we a lot lately when it comes to all those former players that we were talking about that are coming together. Yeah. It's just that's your former player, Tom. That's your former teammate, Tom Brady. You threw touchdowns to that guy in Super Bowls. Like, you should support that guy. That's your old teammate. It's a bad look.
And
it's a bad look.
Your former employee, your future employee is on the other side.
That's right.
So that's it. Like the no dog thing. If he was like, "Oh, I have connections to both teams and blah blah," I get. I still think people would be pissed. But like, in trying to play it down the middle, I think he pissed everybody off.
Oh, really? He really did. And just to like add to it, I think it's something's going to happen, and I wonder if it's like a Super Bowl commercial or something that we get duped with.
Oh, you think he's selling something?
Yes.
Yes. Joe, now you're making too much sense.
Yes, I know. Exactly. Because in the end, it's about money, right? It's about money.
It's about money, the brand, the image.
And that's right. Like maybe they're going to do a commercial and Tom Brady comes out and he has to pick the dog, right? He's got to pick the dog. Because remember he wanted to clone the dog, right? So maybe like he's got to.
I forgot about that. He doesn't have one dog in the fight. He doesn't have a dog in the fight. He has multiple.
Yeah, that's right. So maybe like we see it in a commercial. It's a money grab. But right now it's got us in a tizzy. And I think it's worth talking about it because like, does Tom Brady still hate the Patriots for letting him go? I wonder if it's still there. And just to all the Hall of Fame stuff this week, right?
Yeah.
Belichick, Kraft, Well, is he starting to think that now too, or is he a shoo-in?
Oh, you're thinking maybe he's distancing himself from the Patriots so he doesn't get hit with that anti-Patriots bias?
Boom!
We'll see what happens with Vinatieri tonight. Vinatieri played 14 years for the Colts, who are the Hall of Fame Committee's darling, and he still got snubbed for a year. And he might get in tonight, but he should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. So I don't, in the eyes of the committee, I don't think there's distancing yourself. Reggie Wayne might not be in because he put that helmet on for 2 weeks in August one time, even though he played for the Colts. If that's Brady's plan, I don't think it's going to work.
Oh, it's such a good topic. Who would have thought that we'd be talking about Tom Brady all Super Bowl week when he has nothing to do with it? But here he is. Right in the middle of it.
Well, he has nothing to do with it. He has no dog in the fight.
That's right. He doesn't. Do you think Vinatieri? What are your final thoughts? I'll ask you a couple and then you can answer them. Does Vinatieri get into the Hall of Fame tonight? Does Mike Vrabel win some hardware tonight? And will Drake May be the MVP of the league?
So my picks for tonight. Let's do the awards first. I think Vrabel wins Coach of the Year. I think McDaniels wins Assistant. My hot take is Drake May will win Offensive Player of the Year. I think they are really getting screwy with the MVP award. They came out and redefined the criteria last year. Josh Allen wins it very fraudulently. That's already become an MVP award, quarterback award, which is wrong. Should be about all positions. I wouldn't put it past them to turn Offensive Player of the Year into an MVP runner-up. There's only been one quarterback, Joe, who's won Offensive Player since 2000 without also winning MVP, and it's Drew Brees, and oddly enough, he did it twice. I find it weird that Drake May's the only quarterback nominated. That puts my antennas up to steal your bit. That's a little smelly. So that's my hot take. As for the Hall of Fame, they can pick up to 8, up to 5 modern era finalists. I'm going to go Vinatieri, Fitzgerald, Kuechly, Suggs, and Brees.
All right. Alex Barth, everybody. He'll be writing all night long. I caught the catch-22 last night, and I thought Evan Lazar had a pretty good take regarding the Patriots defense and the chip on their shoulder and how they're being underutilized. So go check that out.
He's good for 1 or 2 good takes over the course of a 2-hour show.
That's right. Well, go check that out. Go check out all the work over at 985thesportshub.com. It is awards night. I know Jake's working on some things social here back here at the station. I know you'll be writing about it all night long. And we got one more big game preview tomorrow, Alex.
That's right. Can't wait.
All right, we'll break it all down tomorrow. He's Alex Barth, everybody. I'm Joe Murray. Thanks to Bob's.